What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. So y'all remember, like, what was this? About a week or two ago, I made a video explaining where the hate for Jay-Z came from, right? And this is like I made the video a day before the allegations against Jay-Z came out, ironically, right? Um, but in my video, I explained Jigga having instances of him shitting on folks that was lower than him, or trying to show people they were lower than him, or like trying to front on some dudes before, right? And Jigga Man is one of my favorite rappers all time. For real, Jay-Z, Jigga, that's one of my favorite rappers all time. He's a phenomenal rapper. He's a businessman. He's a capitalist for sure, for sure. But he's a businessman, and he is again one of the best rappers I've ever heard in my life. So I've been a big fan of Jay-Z's music for years since I was a little itty bitty boy, right? But I do acknowledge like he's had some instances where he probably came off like he was fronting on dudes or wanting to show dudes that he was the big man in the room and they was the little man, right? And I remember Cameron. Now, Cam can be a very ignorant asshole himself. Even though I'm a fan of Cam's music, I was a fan of Dipset, the Diplomats, all of that, right? And I watched the It Is What It Is podcast. Cam got a lot of asshole in him too. But Cameron would tell stories about when Jay-Z would come around, he wouldn't really even speak to them like that. He'd be like he would like look at dudes like, man, like I ain't finna talk to you. What's up? Don't talk to me, right? And then it would be stories of him like taking people off songs. Like did he take Cam off of a song that PD Crack had? And he took Cam off? Cause him and Cam, I think what it was, and I'm for real, like people around Jigga sometimes describe Jigga as a person who like he would front on dudes. And I think Cam was not one of them dudes that was going to fall in line with being the little homie. And I think that's where Jigga didn't really want to like acknowledge him in that same breath because he know Cam has a strong personality himself. Then when I talk about like J. Cole, and when J. Cole tells that story about him getting ready to put out his debut album, and Jay wanted him to have a hit record attached to the album. And when they were with Jay-Z and was doing a Two Kings dinner with LeBron James doing NBA All-Star Weekend, Drake was at the dinner, right? And J. Cole said, Jay-Z pointed at Drake, told Drake, hey, get your man's a record. He need a hit record. Help your man's. He need a hit record. Hey, help your man's. Give your man's a hit, man. Give your man's a hit. And J. Cole talks about being so embarrassed by that because his CEO is telling another artist, like, hey, that's not even on his label, help your man out, right? And he felt like he was so embarrassed by that moment. And Jigga probably didn't mean, like, he probably didn't mean to try to front on him, but he did essentially, right? He fronted on him like, yo, he needed help. He can't make no hit record. Like, he came off like that. And so, yeah, and even people who are close to Jay's age, they're a little bit younger than him, but close to their age, they recognize him as the ultimate big homie, the big homie, yeah, the big homie. And like I do believe Jay likes the fact that they look at him as like up there in the clouds somewhere, and they're lower than him in that way. And I'm a big fan of Jigga Man, but I do think Jigga like that shit, right? And I want to use the comparisons to Nasir Jones. When people talk about Nas, you don't never hear no stories about Nas fronting on dudes. You don't hardly ever hear stories about Nas treating dudes like they peons or less like lower than them, right? Nasir Jones, such a real ass dude. I don't really recall people having negative interactions with Nas. You feel me? Pac was talking when he was talking, and then that backed away, that died down. You feel me? After him and Nas met up and all of that, that died down and went away. But Against All Odds came out after Pac had passed away, and he was dissing Nas on the song, but Pac wanted to get the verses removed. You know what I mean? But anyway, like other than that, Khalees, his ex-wife, you right? And honestly, I think Nas doesn't have the best choice in women. I don't know him personally, but when I watch Carmen, his first child's mother, the one that was dating and messing around with Jay-Z years after she was messing around with Nas, when I watch her talk, she seems rather aloof and rather a little strange to me. Right? Nicki Minaj, oh my God, no. Don't get me started on Nicki Minaj, no. And then Khalees, I'm not saying Nas was innocent in that because I don't know. I wasn't there, right? But Khalees seemed a little high strung too, so I don't know. But anyway, Khalees will say the bad things about Nas. But I'm talking about his peers and his everyday people that's around him. You don't hear stories about Nas trying to little man's people. Trying to like, yo, you the little homie. I'm up here, you down there. In a Drink Champs interview, I saw Nas, they asked Nas who he listens to. Nas said he be listening to Lil Durk, right? A dude that's a Pantheon great like Nas, most of them would never say that because they feel like attaching themselves to like the drill era. A lot of them feel like, yo, that would maybe look at people might want to take my hip hop, not take his, because you can't take Nas's hip hop card, but people probably would look at him a little funny. A lot of people would think, people of Nas's tier would think people would look at them funny if they say they listen to the young kids, the young dudes. Well, Durk is a grown man, but you know what I mean? He's in his early 30s, very early 30s, just turned 32, right? At the time when Nas said it, Durk was in his late 20s. But you know what I mean? Like a lot of Pantheon great rappers, a lot of them probably would be worried about the perception of them if they say they listen to Lil Durk. You know, especially Nas coming out of New York. You feel me? Like the dude that made Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of people would be like, I don't want to say I listen to Lil Durk because it might make people look at me funny as the hip hop dude. Nas don't give a fuck. He don't care, right? And so he don't care about showing love to other people, other artists that ain't signed to him. He don't care. You know what I'm saying? And again, you never heard stories about Nas just fronting on dudes for real. That's just not a thing. Like you hear that about Jigga. You hear Jigga like acting like, yo, I'm up here, y'all down here to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think what it has to do with it, why that is, and one of my homegirls, she said this. She's made this point. She says, being conventionally attractive, sometimes it affects how you go through everyday life and how you move through everyday life. Nas is a person that women have always found attractive. When he was broke, when he was just getting on, as an older man, they found him attractive. Your mama found Nas attractive. My mama found Nas attractive. Your girlfriend do. You feel me? Your wife, your baby mama, your grandmama think Nas attractive. And like, I think, and I'm not saying that because it's some attractive dudes. It's some men it's men who women find attractive that's assholes 100%. 100%, right? But it's some dudes a lot of dudes who women find attractive, they don't go through life with this chip on the shoulder trying to like make everybody know they the big homie in the room. Because they've always had that spotlight on them. For forever, they've always been deemed an attractive dude. They've always, when they came in rooms, girls liked them. And so Nas don't got no problem with just showing love and being a light for real. On the other hand, Jigga Man, one of my favorite, and Nas one of my favorite rappers too. Nas one of my favorite rappers. Jigga Man is not a conventionally attractive guy. You know what I'm saying? It's some women that find Jay-Z attractive, but it's a lot of women that have called Jay-Z ugly over the years, right? And beauty is in the eye of the beholder, whatever, right? But there are a lot of women who like, yo, I don't think he's attractive at all. And I think growing up, Jay dealt with that, right? Not being an attractive dude and all of that, and not being the chosen guy in the rooms. And when he got to the upper echelon status of being this platinum, multi-million selling artist, and when he became the man, he had to make it a point, I'm finna shit on all these dudes. For all the times I got shitted on back in the day, when dudes was clowning me left and right, looking at me like I wasn't nothing, like I was next to nothing, it's time for me to, now I'm the big homie in the room. Now I'm gonna deem what's cool. Now I'm finna just, bruh man from the fifth floor dudes, when I see them, I ain't finna talk. I'm not gonna, extend myself to dudes like that. Pause when I say that, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to be ingratiating to other dudes like that for real. I'm gonna show I'm the big homie in the room. I'm the big hat in the room. Y'all the little ones. Cause he spent a lifetime being a dude probably that was not conventionally attractive to women, and you know, and yeah, and I think that affects him. Like even if so he got a song, what that song with Beyonce, he got a something talking about like ain't no such thing as an ugly billionaire, I'm cute or something he said, right? I do think that affects Jigga that people call him ugly, right? Even Nas told him, what you think you getting girls now cause of your looks? Negro, please. That's what he told him on Ether. You feel me? Like they telling him, Nas was telling him he was ugly the whole song. You know what I mean? When they got into their beef. While Nas, I don't think Nas got a problem showing love and shedding light on dudes because he always been a dude that girls thought was attractive. So he be easy going. He don't carry that certain chip. And also when Nas first came out, Illmatic was already considered a masterpiece immediately. I don't think people consider Reasonable Doubt a masterpiece until years later. When Illmatic came out, my barber tell me, man, they was going to Freaknik or coming back from Freaknik, playing it when they got down there, they were playing it the whole time they was down there because it came out around that time. They was going to Freaknik. And he was like, yo, my mind was blown when I heard Nasir Jones. He loved Nas way more than he loved Jigga Man. And there's a lot of it too. Nas is just the God MC type tier. I mean, and Jay is too, but you know, Nas is more God body. But he like, yo, Nas always was a cool dude. Nas ain't never had problems showing love to dudes, to everybody else. Cause he always been the light for real. Like, you know, he was always looked at as an outstanding rapper. The girls always liked him. Jigga Man had to find his sound. He was not always looked at as this God tier rapper. You feel me? He had to find his little way. He was doing the Hawaiian Sophie and stuff and all of that. And then, you know, he started rapping in his late 20s. You know what I mean? Girls didn't find him conventionally attractive. You know, and I think that's why he cling on to Beyonce. Look what I got, y'all. Shit, I got B. Fuck y'all. Now I got B. What you talking about? I'm ugly. And I think that make him want a little man other dudes. Little man dudes that's a year younger than him and shit, you know?